Hi, thanks for checking out this week's episode of History of Popcorn. Just wanted to give a little disclaimer that we may have some spoilers for the MCU. If you are not caught up with all the projects that they've released on Disney Plus and the movies, I would suggest avoiding this episode until you are. But if you are okay with spoilers and theories, enjoy the episode. We hope you subscribe to our YouTube. We hope you follow us on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts. It would be greatly appreciated. Tell your friends about the Secret Public Movie Club. It's open to everybody. We hope you enjoy this episode with Patrick and Elijah.
It's gonna be a big one.
Yeah. Get it ready. This is gonna be an endurance one because there's a lot of projects for this one.
Yeah, there are.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I've got my Captain America shirt for a very specific reason. We are covering everything Marvel Phase 4. That's the phase we're on, right? Phase 4? Yeah.
Yeah, and I blanked. I did not wear a Marvel shirt. I apologize.
That's all right.
Although this shirt does have the template of an original Marvel comic.
Ooh, okay, there we go.
So there we go. Connections. We make connections on the show.
The Marvel Phase 4 is kicking off with Black Widow, which comes out this Friday. It was also 4th of July over the weekend, so I hope everyone had a good 4th of July.
Woohoo!
Yeah, America. Let's see.
Fuck yeah!
Phase 4. There's a lot to talk about, especially because there's so much to be coming out in the next few years. I feel like a good place to start would be the television shows that have come out. There's been WandaVision, Captain America and Winter Soldier, and now Loki, which is still going. Have you seen them all the shows on Disney Plus?
I actually have not seen the last two episodes of Loki yet. I did see the first episode. I was going to try and catch up. Definitely catch up on those before this Friday when Black Widow comes out.
It's gonna be. I kind of like the direction Loki's going. It's pretty fun. But with what we can take away, I feel like from the WandaVision and Captain America and Winter Soldier is probably we got a new Captain America in Anthony Mackie, which is a beautiful design. I agree. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And what would we take away from WandaVision? Do you think about the impact of the Phase 4? Because it's definitely leading to something.
Yes. Well, as we know, and we'll get into it when we get to that movie. But WandaVision Wanda Maximoff is going to play a big part in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And actually, I don't know if you heard this, and but apparently they changed the after credit sequence on WandaVision's final episode, and it's something different now.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about that.
I haven't checked it out.
I've heard that it's also an editing mistake of them updating something, and there's like two explanations. There's one which is going super viral, is that they added a silhouette of someone floating down the mountain while it's zooming in to the cabin. So that might be, they say it's Doctor Strange, and that they added that so that they can add the point of view of Doctor Strange experiencing that moment from his point of view and be like, well, if you look back at that, you can see that he's actually in the background. But there's also a theory that it was an editing mistake where they have to take away a light that was shown in the cabin window from the production behind. And that they didn't actually, they had to like motion track it to get rid of it. And they just never took that out before when it was panning in, so you can see the editing of it there. So there's two different things that they're saying. So I don't know why they would decide to take the light away so late. I feel like I want to lean into the Doctor Strange point of view for it. So we'll say it's more connected to Doctor Strange.
But like my big takeaway from WandaVision is that it introduced or I guess you can say it reintroduced the side of Wanda where is she really in control of herself? You know, which she was going through a lot in Age of Ultron and even in parts of Civil War. And I think that show did a brilliant job of setting up just how powerful like this woman is.
Yeah.
And I think she's gonna be one of the showstoppers for Phase Four. I think they're going to do a lot more with her, and
Yeah.
which is why I think they did that. You know, that whole show. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or now Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I just recently rewatched, and I really taken with that show. I mean, I love the more militaristic like aspect of it and the missions and secret spies and secret organizations and the chemistry between Stan and Mackie is just great.
I loved John Walker. Is that his name?
Yes.
Russell's character. I'm so excited to see him in the main MCU timeline of some sort of movie. I don't know which one he'll show up in, but he's got to show up eventually because that character was incredible. I thought I was so intrigued.
He ends up becoming
U.S. agent, right?
Yes, U.S. agent. Yep.
Yeah.
And
they because they show his costume too, the black one. It's just like it's the same one, it's just black. It's like but everyone who knows, they're like, that's it. That's what we needed. That's what we want. That he didn't look right in Captain America. It's just the colors. He didn't look right. And that was intentional. I feel like that was really good on the production department. I was like,
and that scene where he takes out that flagstaffer with the shield, man, my jaw was on the floor. I'm like,
how is he coming back from this? So we'll find out because it's pretty ambiguous. I think since Loki's not over yet, there's I think one more episode by this point before Black Widow comes out. I think there's one more. So
is it only 6?
It's only 6, yeah.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping they would do like the 8 or 9, like WandaVision.
Yeah, it's only 6. So, and apparently around, it's only 6 episodes. So,
I loved the first episode. The setup with the TVA I thought was great.
I missed Owen Wilson. I love Owen Wilson.
Yes, very. And you know what? You made a post the other day, and Owen Wilson coming back to do an MCU movie or series, I thought was great. And you had a post on Twitter the other day about Brendan Fraser, and someone please give this man some work or something like that. Was that you? Or
I mean, I agree with the statement because I want to see him more. Yeah.
Well, I remember we must have talked about Brendan Fraser at one point and just how sad it is what's happened to him. Like maybe the MCU maybe can do something with him, much like what they did with Owen Wilson for Loki.
I agree. I mean, he's in that DC show, which I mean, I feel like it's blasphemy to talk about DC while we're talking about Marvel. But hey, he plays what's his name, Robot Man in the which one is that?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, yeah. But they don't utilize him. You don't get to see his face unless it's flashbacks. But it's all right. I'm a huge Brendan Fraser fan. So, but speaking of what's it called, the Captain America and Winter Soldier, now we'll call it. They introduced Julia Louis-Dreyfus as, they don't really say her name. They say her name's Val, but there's a big theory that she's going to be Madam Hydra, I guess. That's a character from the comics. Are you familiar with her?
Yes. Yep.
It seems like they're going to end up making a Dark Avengers team with US Agent at the head or something. And it's rumored. I think it might be a confirmed rumor, but take it with a grain of salt. And I don't want to be yelled at if it's wrong, but she's going to be in the Black Widow movie, which is the first movie that kicks off phase 4 officially of the main MCU. So that would be interesting to see her show up and continue to build a team. It's assuming that they're gonna what's it called? She's gonna, what do you call that? She's just gonna bring in this person to the team,
Recruit.
Yelena Belova, recruit. Yeah,
Yeah.
the new Black Widow, which is she's played by Florence Pugh. So
Yes,
that's a
love her.
theory.
Love her.
I'm excited that she's in it now too.
Yeah.
They almost have a big cast like Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
They're catching up to Fast and Furious.
And the last trailer for Black Widow looked phenomenal. It was definitely the best trailer yet. And plus, you just got some killer people in there, like Rachel Weisz, David Harbour. I mean,
Red
just
Guard.
got some
So excited to see
solid
him.
people.
I hope, because this is like a midquel. It's like after Civil War, but before. And what is it? It's before one of the. I think it's before Infinity War, but it's in between Civil War and Infinity War. So for the timeline,
that's been
not fully confirmed, but she said it's well. Actually, Scarlett Johansson said it's after Civil War, but I don't remember where it is before. So
we'll see. I was hoping they were gonna. I was hoping it would be modern. Modern for some reason. I was hoping they were going to bring her back, but if they do a flashback, I guess that's cool too. I mean, she deserved her own movie a long time ago.
Yes, she did. I mean, I'm excited to see Taskmaster. A lot of people are like, "Who's Taskmaster? Are they going to unmask him?" But I wouldn't mind if they didn't reveal it as some other character. Like, I think a lot of people are expecting it to be like Jeremy Renner or something, and I'm like,
no,
it's Taskmaster.
He's his own guy.
Yeah, I don't want them to do that and be like, "Oh, it's this person the whole time," because that would be a cop out for me, I feel like. But because Taskmaster is pretty cool. I like him a lot in the comics.
And I just want to go back to the character of Val real quick.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with the game Disney Villainous? Where you play the super villains and you gotta defeat all the heroes.
I believe I've heard of it. I haven't seen much of it.
So they did a Marvel one, and they have an expansion pack coming out at the end of July. And one of the villains you can play in it is Madam Hydra or Lady Hydra. So I think that I totally see Marvel doing that kind of tie-in.
Yeah.
Like, so, that rumor that you heard about Julia Louis-Dreyfus being Madam Hydra is very, very possible.
Yeah, because they didn't want to name drop her in I feel like in a TV show, because they aren't sure if that's gonna make it to the main timeline of that. So I feel like the big reveal is gonna be worth it in Black Widow, and I'm excited for that. But I've also heard still concerning Black Widow that it's gonna be the first movie to introduce mutants, the X-Men mutant, and it's gonna be, which one is it? It's the one that's half man, half bear.
No, it wouldn't be Beast. Hank McCoy.
No, not Hank. It would be cool to. That'd be cool if they did bring him in, though. Another version of him, because I really like Ursa Major. His name is. He's from X-Men, and he's a man who can turn into a giant bear. So he's gonna fight alongside Red Guardian. So they're introducing X-Men and mutants.
Oh wow!
For this,
okay, because I had we can we'll touch up on it when because I had a theory about the Eternals and involving mutants.
So
I
think it's going to be heavily favored in that. I'm excited for Black Widow, and the fighting looks really good. That's all I can really say about that. I think we have our theories out for Black Widow. I think the only thing that's going to come out of this one is that we're just going to see the main establishing of a Dark Avengers team, like in the main timeline with, like you said, Madam Hydra. That's my theory.
Do you think they'll try and bring her back, or try and set up something to actually physically bring her back in this for future movies?
No, I don't anymore. I think she might be done like Iron Man. Although Iron Man might be coming back in there's a TV show that they announced called Ironheart. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a Disney Plus.
The teenage girl that
I think her name's Riri. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but yeah, she's like
super genius and basically like Tony Stark 2.0. Basically.
Yeah, they're gonna make the TV show of that. So yeah, that's all I can really say about Black Widow and what I think about that.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. That's this Friday. So be on the lookout for that review. We're going to be doing that too.
I am super super excited, and I'm just looking forward to seeing a film more along the lines of like Captain America: Civil War, like a
Yeah.
grounded spy thriller.
Mhm.
Kind of with some superhuman antics maybe, but primarily like just a grounded spy thriller in the
Yeah,
MCU,
it
and
looks.
I'm stoked for it.
I'm excited. Oh, I also just one fun tidbit is Mila Jovovich's daughter is going to play the young version um, of Black
Oh,
Widow.
wow, nice.
This is her first like big budget role, and it's very cool to see that a good actress and has a daughter that's coming out in the industry as well. So hopefully she has a good career
Nice.
ahead of her.
Yeah.
That's just a fun fact. So next up on our list of Phase 4, we got Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm going to be honest, I was a little underwhelmed with the first trailer that they had for this movie, but this
So
new
was
trailer
I.
that they had gave
Woo!
me the visuals that I needed. They gave me the hype, they
Yeah.
gave me everything. And that's when I realized the cinematographer of that movie of Shang-Chi is the same one who did the Matrix movies. His name's Bill
Yep.
Pope, and he's done a lot of
Yep.
other movies. He works with Edgar Wright a lot, and I was like, okay, so this movie's gonna look really good, I think.
Yeah, and based off that new trailer, it does look amazing. There's some
It
shots
does.
in there that are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of cool things that could happen with Shang-Chi
He's
that
one
I'm
of the
hoping
lesser
for.
known characters I've found out, but I guess you've done a little bit more research about the backstory of him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I've read some books in the past, and I'm currently reading the new reiteration
Mm,
of it
okay.
that just started coming out a few months back. And fun fact, like originally he was the son of Fu Manchu,
Mhm.
and then for some reason Marvel lost the rights to use the name Fu Manchu.
Yeah.
Uh, so in the movie, it looks like his father's going to be Wenwu, who is the Mandarin, basically.
Mhm. And not
Played by
not from Iron Man 2 or 3. Which one
no,
is Iron Man
no,
3?
the
The cop out.
actual
Yeah.
the
Who
actual
who
Mandarin.
played the Mandarin again in was it Iron Man 3? Is it Iron Man 2?
Yeah, no, it was Iron Man 3, and it was Ben Kingsley,
Ben
but he
Kingsley.
was
Gotcha.
actually playing an actor pretending to be the Mandarin.
Hmm.
And for a while, Marvel started including these short films on their
Yeah.
Blu-rays. And there's one called All or Hail to the King or All Hail the King. And that actually was the first time of a mention of the actual Mandarin, because
Yeah.
that actor character gets visited in a jail cell by this guy, and claiming to be with the Mandarin, saying the Mandarin is upset that you took his name and made a
Yeah.
mockery of him, and like, so that I thought was cool. And then when they announced Shang-Chi, I was like, oh man, we're gonna get the Mandarin. We're
They're
gonna
gonna
get the
do it
true
right. I
Mandarin.
mean, because the 10 rings have been around since the first Iron
Iron
Man.
Man. Yep.
Yeah, you see the flag of the 10 rings, and it's pretty insane like I think that's insane that they're bringing that back finally, and they're using it for this movie, which is a lesser known character. But I think this movie's gonna have a big impact
Oh yeah,
because
me too.
they're making callbacks, like you said. They have Abomination, who has a more comic book accurate look.
Yes, he's got
He
the
has
fins.
ears. Yeah,
Yep.
it's I'm excited for that.
And then another thing, apparently the guy Abomination is fighting in that trailer, I heard, is Wong
It
from
looks like
Doctor
it. Yeah,
Strange.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I
and
wonder
that's
how that
cool.
goes though. I wonder if that like because yeah, there's a fighting competition involved in the movie, which is reminiscent of a lot of martial art films that they're
Mm-hmm.
taking inspiration from, which I think is really exciting. But I feel like it could not. Well, what's the actor's name? He was seen. The guy who plays Wong is he was on
Benedict
set.
Wong.
Oh, really?
Benedict Wong. Yeah, Benedict Wong
Okay.
is
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
name.
So he was
And he
seen
was
on
spotted
set.
on set
So
with
while they were
Simu
shooting.
Lee. And
Yeah. So that almost is confirmation. But I feel like if it's one of those things, if it's competition, one of them has to lose. And I don't know. I don't see either of them
well,
really losing.
like I'm more, what I've heard is that the place where that club is Madripoor,
Mm-hmm.
which was featured in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, which is a
Um,
fictional underground like evil people run it. Like it's
Yeah,
where a lot of
yeah,
villains hide out for safety
yep.
in the Marvel universe. So
And so it would make total sense if like maybe some people were able to kidnap Wong and they threw him in there. Like maybe
Mhm,
that's like where they force people to fight the
mhm.
Abomination. It could be
sort of
something
like
like that.
sort of
Like
like what the Grandmaster does with the Hulk and Thor. It's just
yeah,
like you
exactly.
gotta beat this guy.
Yep. Yeah,
See
it could
that?
be something like that, and it could be something else. But
Yeah,
it's got me hooked, man.
yeah,
Like
it makes it.
the possibilities are endless, man. And there's some cool stuff they do with Shang Chi in the comic. Like in the comic, um, Tony Stark builds him these energy gauntlets made out of the stuff that powers his suit.
Arc
I forget
reactor
what.
thing. I think it's
Yeah,
arc
it's like
or
arc
something.
reactor technology or whatever.
Hmm.
And these gauntlets and also nunchucks, so they can repel like lasers and everything like that. And
So
I'm
you think they're
wondering,
kind of integrating that into how like a new version of the rings or something?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe those rings might be, but I could still see maybe like Shuri on Wakanda building him some freaking badass nunchucks.
Yeah, they do kind of remind me of
Like
that when they were using them, but yeah.
and 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 there's just so he's hands down like one of the most accomplished, if not the most accomplished fighter in the
Mhm.
MCU, to the
Hand-to-hand
point
combat, right?
where yes, to the
Yeah.
point where he has legitimately like trained Wolverine, Spider-Man,
Ooh.
even Tony, Captain America. He has
Hmm.
trained a lot of these characters in martial arts. Um, he can hold his own against mutants. He can hold his own against titans just with hand-to-hand combat and the
And
power
strategy and everything.
that his chi
Hmm.
possesses. And I like that the trailer is like going full on mystical with it,
Hmm.
and you got weird creatures in there. You got all sorts of like Tai Chi and mastering the elements. I think the dragon he sees under the water is
Hmm.
Fin Fang Foom.
They've been trying to hide that and like say it's not because before, but then they're like, well, let's just show it in the trailer. And then they showed this dragon in the trailer. They have merchandise coming out, but it doesn't say that because that um dragon can communicate
It could be
with.
his animal totem for all we know,
Yeah,
you know.
because
But
it says on the merchandise, the Great Protector. That's how they're doing
hmm,
it. So they might maybe what did you say the dragon's name was?
Fin Fang Foom
Maybe Fing Fang Foom is like the descendant of this Great Protector or something,
could be
and they
that
could
went
introduce
evil
him
and
because they that cast has said that dragon's not in it. It's like a different one. So maybe
hmm,
they're leaving it open for another one that can actually that's still alive. And I feel like
yeah.
that's more of a spiritual visit. I'm assuming it's going to be just based off the trailer, but maybe there's going to be a real reincarnation of one by the end and
Yeah.
be like, oh, or something. I don't know exactly.
Or maybe it could be setting up Fin Fang Foom for Shang Chi too.
Yeah, exactly. Something like
Because
that.
based off this last trailer, like I really think this is going to be like one of the Marvel movies that has the potential to gross $1 billion.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks fun. Like I said, it looks strange and mystical, but yet you got these reality based fight scenes in San Francisco
Yeah, I
and
like the
Hong
setting.
Kong, and like it's it just and it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And you got Aquafina, who I think is hysterical. Tony Leung is playing the Mandarin. He's one of my favorite Chinese actors. He was in John Woo's The Killer. Um, and it just looks Michelle Yeoh is in it too, plays Shang-Chi's
Yes.
mother. So you got a fantastic cast. It's Marvel approaching a different part of their universe that I really think is gonna surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, it came up high on my anticipation of Phase 4 just by that newest trailer. Because I was like, this is what I wanted. This is what I was expecting. Like I thought it was going to be like a subtle origin film, but no, they're going all out with
Yeah.
this movie, and I'm very excited for it. It looks like it's going to be it might jump around in time. I feel like because there are flashbacks of people. It looks like an ancient China, I think it is.
Yeah.
But I also think that might be a portal into that world where I think there might be an like a pocket dimension where they can go for this origin of the Ten Rings that still exists in modern day. That's
Yeah.
I think, and that's going to open up round like because they're definitely introducing like different realms
Multiverse.
and stuff and
Yeah.
multiverse and dimensions and stuff and pocket stuff because of where it's going. Like like we said with WandaVision, it starts with WandaVision, but um that they people the studio has said that that's the first of a trilogy arc that goes into Spider-Man No Way Home and ends
Woo!
with Doctor Strange too. So that's going to be the
Nice.
whole Scarlet Witch arc, I
Nice.
believe. So yeah, that's going to be exciting, I think. But
Yeah, and I'm just overall, I am just a huge fan of like Chinese history and culture, kung
mhm,
fu films. Like I was introduced to Jackie Chan and Jet Li movies like in the late '80s, early '90s, and I grew up
at the
like,
prime.
yeah, I grew up watching like all the Once Upon a Time in China's and
Mhm.
Feng Sayuk and Feng Sayuk 2, and now like I'm gonna see like the equivalent of that in the MCU, and I'm like just so excited.
Yeah, this one comes out. When does this one come out?
September 3rd.
Thank you. September 3rd. That's not too far off. I
No,
think it's a good
and
date.
and I guarantee you we'll probably get one more trailer for it before.
Oh yeah, we've got it. The
Yeah,
final
because they
trailer. They always do that.
yeah
Like the yeah.
yeah because I think they've done like full like three full theatrical trailers for like each movie. Like
Yeah.
their teaser and then two
And then they
theatrical
use the
trailers.
same clips for all the TV spots. It's just like yeah, for
Yeah.
months
Yep.
and months and months. But they usually do the job. That's all they really need because I
Yeah.
think that what they have is already solid. Like I said, I trust the cinematographer.
Yeah. Bill Pope is great, man. He's
I had no idea he's doing that. I was like, oh, okay, because they really care about the choreography and the way the fights look and have it be more authentic to what hand-to-hand combat should be as an art form. And I'm like, that's
yeah.
respect. And not a lot of people take the time to do that. Like, look at the Taken films, cut. They just do cuts
Yep.
every like half second. It's too much. And I think this one's gonna do it justice.
Okay.
Fighting movies are coming back, I think, or combat movies. I
Yeah.
hope anyway.
Absolutely. Okay. No. Yes. You were talking about like just the fight scenes and being able to see them and view
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah.
If you haven't checked it out already, gosh, it came out last year at some point on YouTube. I'm sure a simple search will find it. But they did a little like 3-minute video with the stunt team of Shang Chi.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
no, before they even like started filming, it's just a stunt
Oh,
team
yeah, I think
showing
yeah,
showing
how they would
like
do it.
the how like the fight scenes were going to look, and it looked killer. And
Yeah,
it's
because it's
you're
just one.
right.
It's just a guy holding the phone. They're like, "This is how the fight's gonna go," and you then they
Yep.
basically send that to the director and like, "Well, you got to figure out where to put the camera for that."
Yep.
And but they do it, and yeah, they just do it right in front of them. It looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
remember seeing that.
viewers, if you haven't seen that video, track it down. It'll give you a sense of what the fight scenes are really going to look like and how
Yeah, and it
magnificent they're going to
shows that
be.
they're actually doing it. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's awesome.
Yep.
So that's Shang-Chi, and like you said, it comes out September 3rd. We are
Yep.
getting there's two more movies that are coming out this year for Marvel
Yes.
Phase 4, and the next one would be Eternals, and that comes out I think
Yes.
November-ish. And this
Yeah.
one
I want to
looks
say November 8th, but
5th. Yes, November
5th.
5th.
Okay.
Very close. So this
Yes.
one the trailer kind of underwhelmed me because it's a teaser, so they don't really have much of the plot. But
Yeah.
the only
I
way
mean, there's
I
barely
only
any dialogue.
exactly, but it looks beautiful. But
Yes.
a lot of people are ripping apart the quotes that the cast are saying. They're like, "We use natural light. We like treated this movie like an independent film," and a lot of people are like, "Oh, okay, so you made a movie? That's what you keep saying?" Like they're talking like they're saying like Marvel movies are not movies, but and I just didn't like the disrespect that they were saying toward the movie and the process that they had, because I think a lot of people are going to realize that this movie is going to tonally feel a lot different, because it's
Oh
like an
yeah.
ensemble film, and you gotta be delicate with ensemble films if you're gonna do it right. Like if you're not delicate, you end up with a movie like Fast and Furious 9 or something, where it's just
Yeah.
like everything's happening so fast that you can't slow down. And I think this
Yep.
movie's gonna take its time for sure, especially with what you said, because you have this idea that it might introduce X-Men or mutants or something.
Yeah, well, like originally in the comics, like the Eternals were so these like centennial being or not sentient beings, the
Celestial.
centennials, celestials. The celestials like come down and start testing like on proto human being, and
Mhm.
they create the Eternals and the deviants, and the
The
deviants
good
are
and
like,
bad.
yeah, pretty much. And then it is stated that the first super powered mutation in a human being resulted from the testing
Hmm.
that was done
Yeah.
to create these Eternals and deviants. So my thought was like, well, maybe maybe that will be their footprint into the mutants.
Yeah. And
But
it can
who
do
knows?
that because even though it's so late in the process of the actual movies being released, this movie takes place before all of them. This movie takes
Yeah.
place over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, like from the beginning of time, basically before like full civilizations were even established. It shows that they were a big reason why civilizations exist.
Yeah.
And they kind of already introduced Celestials. I think there's the Celestials in Guardians 2 or 1. I think both of them, and Guardians of the Galaxy, they kind of tease them. Like I think Ego is
Yeah.
supposed to be a
A
celestial or like a
celestial. Yep.
yeah. So that's interesting
No.
to me. I kind of
And
I
and
like that.
and like to give people like context of how powerful the Eternals are, like Titan, or I'm sorry, Thanos is a
Yeah,
third generation Eternal.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and he was born around the same generation that Angelina Jolie's character Thana, I think is her name, or Thera or Thana. It
Something.
like around that. Yeah. So like Thanos is an Eternal, and
It's
we all
rumored
know
that
how
he might
powerful he
end up
is.
in that movie too, like a little part of it, and like they said that Thanos might show up, but they were gonna
Oh,
do
it could show his birth, or something like,
yeah, or
or like a
just show
scene
him
could
and
be set on Titan. Like,
yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, I think they could do something like that.
yeah, I'm I Eternals. I know enough about their history.
Mhm.
The individual characters, though, it's been a long time since I read any like New Gods or the Eternals, or I'm sorry, New Gods is DC. Sorry, Marvel fans. Um,
Everyone
uh,
just went, whoa, whoa, wait, whoa. And they're
whoa,
like,
whoa,
oh,
whoa,
okay.
whoa!
Okay. Thank you for that
This guy doesn't
clarity.
know shit. um, but I did pick up like the first three issues of the new
Mhm.
ongoing Eternals that came out, and I found it very, very intriguing. And
Mhm.
if they're gonna well, no, it could be. If it's gonna be anywhere like the new comic, then I'm on board. And like you said, the cinematography in that movie. So they film with all natural lighting. They're saying,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
That's
so
what
like
they're saying.
what's his name did with the Revenant. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. They use that. They
okay,
actually referenced
okay,
that when
so
they were talking about it.
that's why that's why it has that kind of odd look to it.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the trailer, it had like a not off-putting, but I was like, this looks different
It's
than
not as
everything
colorful,
else.
I feel like.
Yeah,
And
and
there's less saturated, I guess. Yeah. But
but
that's
I
a
am
result of Chloe Zhao, who's an Oscar nominated director now, Oscar winning director.
yes,
Oscar
yes,
winning.
and I still haven't seen Nomadland. Is it good?
I feel like it's one of those movies that should have been a documentary. I feel like the way they throw in Frances McDormand's character into the narrative just doesn't fit. It's a beautifully shot film. That's why I'm more excited about it. But I looked up the cinematographer and I'm like, I think that's more on him. But yeah, the movie
How
itself should have been a documentary.
do you feel that her particular vision is going to transition well to a movie like this?
That's the thing. I don't know. I like
Mm.
it looks like they're leaning in that way of making it look like her films, but like I said, it's probably going to be like a 2.5 hour film, and it's probably going to have a lot jam packed into it. But
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect from it, honestly. Like
Yeah, me
I'm open
neither.
to it.
I'm familiar with their history and a few of the characters, but this is one of those Marvel movies that where like for the most part I'm going in like 85% blind,
Yeah, exactly.
which is kind of cool. It's
Yeah,
kind of
that's how
cool.
I feel about
I
Shang
didn't
Chi too, because I wasn't familiar with those characters as well. So
I didn't know a lot about the Guardians when that first movie came
yeah,
out,
exactly. Yeah, and look how that
I
kicked off. It's one of the
yeah,
best.
and
People consider it one of the best.
yeah, hands down, it's right up there. Like we'll get into rankings later, but Eternals, I'm excited for. It's
Mhm.
I'm curious to see what their powers are going to look like in
Yeah,
this world, and
yeah.
I'm excited for the cast. I love Richard Madden.
Hmm.
Kit Harington, I think, is coming into his own.
Yeah, they're introducing his character. I think his character is going to be really cool. I don't think he's going to have his powers until the end. I think he's going to think he's a civilian because he plays this character who turns into a character called the Black Knight, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically like a legacy character that can pass the mantle on through years and years. And I think he's going to get the mantle passed to him toward the end of the movie and be like, oh my God,
Yeah, right
I
before the
am a
final
superhero.
battle.
Yeah. And
Like,
then he's going to come to
yeah.
his own. And I'm very excited for that because, yeah, like you said, he's coming to his own. And this is a Game of Thrones reunion with
Mm-hmm.
Richard Madden and and Kit Harington. So that's going to be fun to see them together. But they're going
Yeah.
to be feuding, I guess, because they're in a love triangle with the same woman. So that's going to be
Oh,
funny.
like in real life or in the movie?
No, in the movie they have a love
Oh,
triangle
okay.
with the characters, and then Gemma Chan's character, I believe it is. So
Okay.
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and on top of the uh, Game of Thrones double team, you got Salma Hayek, who
Hmm.
has, for the most part, been fairly absent from cinema.
Yeah,
The
I
last, I
just
think,
saw her
like,
in the Hitman's Wife Bodyguard, which she's in, and that movie it didn't get marketed very much because it was just like one of those movies that was going to come out a long time ago, and they're like, well, let's just finally put it out. And she's really funny in it, and I missed her on the big screen because yeah, like I haven't seen her in a
I think
while.
Everly might have been like the Joe Lynch movie Everly, where it all
Mm.
takes place in that apartment,
Hmm.
and it's like an action movie. I think that was the last thing she was in that was in theaters.
Yeah,
And it's good. I haven't seen Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, but I loved the first one. It really
it's a lot of
it
fun.
took me by surprise, and it did one of my dream things for an action movie, is that it had a chase scene through the canals of Venice involving cars, boats, motorcycles, and helicopters.
Yeah, it's insane. It's an insane movie.
Are you listening, Fast and Furious? um, yeah, so I haven't seen that yet, but it's going to be cool to see her in that. And then you have Angelina Jolie,
Mhm. It's a big cast. Yeah,
Kumal Nanjiani. Oh,
yeah.
um,
He plays a
and,
Bollywood star he's all of the Eternals are basically these super beings who have lived through all time. And when we find them, I believe they're going to be like hiding out, and his character is a Bollywood star, and he's
yeah,
like not low key at all. So that's going to be really
yeah.
funny, I think.
So for me, there's not much else to say about it until we get another trailer
That shows what the story is.
that
Yeah.
maybe shows some interaction between the characters, some dialogue, and
Hmm.
but
It looks beautiful though.
yeah, it absolutely does. And I love that, like, the MCU is going to bat for these like obscure comic book adaptations,
Yeah, they got to
and
get
they're
pretty deep in their stories now.
and they're finding fantastic ways to not only adapt them to the screen but incorporate them in the overall universe. And the
Uh,
Eternals is the one that I'm most curious to see them incorporate
I
into the
think that,
rest.
yeah, we can learn. I think we can learn the most about it, like the MCU from Eternals, I believe, because of how those characters work. I think that's going to be unlock a lot of stuff that we
Yeah.
don't even know yet, which is
Yep.
I'm very interested in. But like you said, I think it will introduce more so, and well, kind of explain the X mutant gene. I feel like I agree with you on that. I mean, like
Yeah.
we said in Black
Or
Widow,
you
there is
know,
going to be a mutant, but
it could you know, it could oh God, what's the term? Plant the seed
yeah,
for you know, and if they don't do it in Eternals, I have a feeling that's going to come. It's definitely going to come at the end of Phase 4, which will be Fantastic Four. So
yeah.
yeah,
And so on the at the end of the year, the last movie that is coming out for Phase 4 of this year is Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yes, this is the one that I have a lot of theories on, just because I have a lot of
yes.
hopes. There's a lot of
So
stuff coming out about it, so I don't know what to believe.
this is a 3 hour episode, right?
Apparently,
So yeah, okay, cool.
but Spider-Man:
No,
No
no.
Way Home is rumored to be huge.
Yes.
This is the one that's going to be breaking the universe, like the multiverse, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be insane, I think.
Yes. Not only did Alfred Molina just say, you know, like fuck my NDA, I'm
Yeah,
playing Doc Ock again in
yeah,
in the new Spider-Man, and then
literally.
they announced Jamie Foxx as
Mhm.
Electro. Um, I I hope they go a little bit of a different design. I mean, I don't want the green
he
spandex with the big lightning
he's
bolt head, but
Oh yeah, I think they might. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, because he did come out. He came out on an Instagram post, Jamie Foxx, right when he was announced, and he's like, "I'm back, and I'm getting Spider Man, but this time I'm not blue." So I'm like, it's like
okay, cool.
that
Yeah.
opens up a question of like, is he from
The Garfield universe,
yeah,
or is he
or
going to
is he in
be,
the MCU
or
universe?
a
But he's still
variant,
Electro.
of
Oh
that,
yeah, that's a new thing we know now about, because of
Yep.
Loki. There's variants, and I think that's a very good um like you said, planting the seeds of, look, we don't all look the same, sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
they show that there's different types of Lokis. There's one that looks like the Hulk and Old Viking. There's like a bunch of them, and it's like that's very good, planting the seeds of like, if we do, because it's rumored that we will get 3 Spider-Men, and I think that's really good planting of seeds of like, well, why don't we all look alike if we're all Peter Parker? And it's
Yep.
like, well, that's because they're variants in different universes, and I love that Loki is doing that, because it just opens up a little bit more of, we're getting in a multiverse, especially because Doctor Strange is called Multiverse of Madness. But
Yeah.
still, if we get Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I'm gonna cry. And there's just so much more pointing toward it. Like even just recently, there's a fan who ran into him and posted on Instagram and was like, you got a photo with him, just a selfie, and was like, I asked him about Spider-Man, and he just said, I can't talk about it, and he winked as he walked away. And I was like, just imagine being that guy who ran into him, be like, I can't talk about it, and walked away.
Yeah. and
But
and and now it's well, it hasn't been made official, but it's heavily rumored that Willem Dafoe
mhm,
is coming
yeah,
back to play Green Goblin from the Toby U.
he's gonna be the
Uh,
big bad. Apparently, that is the one that is trying to make all the universes
the
like
the
come
sinister
back.
is he breaking the multiverse to build a Sinister Six? I'm wondering.
Yeah, because
Like,
I think he might be, because the big thing about like the leaks, some leaks and stuff, and story elements are that what's it called? He's all of these characters that are from the different universes are taken from the other universes like right as they die, and I think they remember dying at the hands of Spider-Man, all of the villains that show up, sort of thing.
hmm,
And I think that's going to come into play with Loki in some reason. Like I just feel like something like that is going to happen, because Loki, I feel like, is introducing a lot of stuff, because they have, what are they? The time that's the
TVA,
people
the
in charge
time
of the TVA. They have, what are they called? The Watchers, the Timekeepers.
timekeepers.
And one of those characters is theorized to be Kang the Conqueror. It's rumored that, and
Ooh,
he's gonna be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He's already
yes.
cast. He's
Yep.
being played by Jonathan Majors, who's an incredible actor. And they asked him, um, "Are you familiar? Are you going to be in the Loki series?" And Jonathan Majors was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And it's like, actors are actors; they know how to say shit. So
Yeah.
maybe he's going to end up at the end of the movie. But I think Kang the Conqueror might end up being the big bad of the Thanos, and being like, he shows up at the end of certain movies and being like, I'm going to ruin time, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep. No, man.
It's really
Oh, that
exciting.
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And I'm really excited that I hope that happens. And I hope
I told you we'd be making connections on this show.
because like what they're doing with Loki is kind of the story of Kang. Except they're using Loki because in the comic books, Kang, he's good. He's a good character. He's a good guy and a bad guy because there's certain
Yeah.
versions of him where he's chasing the bad version who's like ending all of time. And he's like, there's like different versions of him and he fights himself, but there's also a big bad who's like a Thanos type who wants to kill everything. And so they're kind of doing that with Loki of like, you're gonna figure out where you're like they're looking for another Loki from the pilot. They say that. And yeah, there's just opened so many doors. And I hope no Spider-Man No Way Home doesn't jump the shark by doing a mini spider into the Spider-Verse. But it could go in that direction.
Hopefully they won't. I Marvel's been pretty good about
Yeah.
leaving anything out that doesn't service
Yeah.
the overall story,
Mhm.
and I think Marvel will be smart not to do that. They really don't want to piss Sony off at this point because if they want to continue to use Spider-Man in their movies, then they need to not pull bullshit like that and
Yeah.
like let's make a live action into the Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
like don't even call it a Spider-Verse, just keep it multiverse
Keep it multiverse for Marvel. Yeah.
and do your thing. I also heard that Michael Keaton might be coming back as the Vulture in this one.
No, he's back as Batman. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think it's Batman, but no, he is. I believe he is coming back. There's a lot of rumors. They also said that the Rhino might show up too, Paul Giamatti's Rhino, and I'm like, what? There's a bunch of
That would
stuff
be, oh man, that would be
because
cool if
I guess a big
they
thing about this one is they're ending based off rumors. They're ending the Maguire universe, retconning Spider-Man 3, and keeping Andrew Garfield's universe alive. So they're like saying goodbye, Raimi, and then like saying, well, we still might make Andrew Garfield Spider-Man later on with Sony, but Tom Holland's staying in the MCU. And that's how they're going to basically establish the different universes because there's all these Sony properties that are coming out, like Morbius and Venom 2 and all this stuff.
yeah.
So they have to find a way to establish who's staying where.
Craven the Hunter with
Oh
Aaron
yeah, they
Taylor
announced
Johnson.
Craven, who's also Quicksilver. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
So
I heard they approached Keanu.
I did too. Yeah,
Which,
that would have been
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, because like you see him as John Wick with that beard and scraggly hair and all scarred and bloody, and
Yeah,
I'm
could
like,
work.
dude, he could do Craven, and
He could. Yeah,
but I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I specifically, when they announced him, I had just watched Tenet, and he's like fully bearded
yeah.
military, like hard ass and buff,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, I see it. I see it. Cast smart, not likeness. And
Yeah,
that's what we
let's
should
cast
do.
smart. Exactly. Because he's a talented guy. Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home. The trailer is apparently already out in theaters. Like theaters are holding the trailer, but they haven't really.
What?
Yeah, like if you ask any theater employee, they have the way they work is like they have a passcode that gets unlocked by the studio at a certain point and then it plays before the movie. So it's in a bunch of movie theaters and it's been in movie theaters for like almost a month and a half now. And everyone's like asking AMC employees and stuff. And they're like, when is it being released? They're like, we don't know. All we know is we have the trailer. So
I bet they'll drop it right before
they're going to drop it probably this weekend
like
with
the end of
Black
this
Widow,
week.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
They'll
that's what I think.
they'll either drop it online or they'll just surprise put it in theaters and not tell
Yeah.
anybody,
It's
and
probably
then
going to be with
release
Black
it
Widow. It's got to
Sunday.
be.
Yeah, if
That's
it's
super
done,
exciting.
like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like, man, it's like what, like 5.5 months until it's released.
Something.
Give us a
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah.
Give us a taste.
I'm so excited though.
Yeah.
There's so much to expect with Spider-Man, and I have a lot of expectations. Just because I don't like Tom Holland's my least favorite Spider-Man out of all of them. It's not that I don't like him. It's just he's my least favorite out of all of them. I think it's just because as they keep going, I'm like I've seen a lot of this, and they have to be different. But Toby just holds a special place in my heart, and I'm excited for
Yeah.
that. But that'll lead. I think that'll all lead into. I think they might show up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, all three Spider-Man. I feel like, or because the cool thing about the multiverse and like you said, with the variants that they introduced with Loki, I think they could have a lot of fun with Doctor Strange, which is the movie
Yeah.
that comes after, and it comes out in
Yep.
2022. So, but
March, I believe.
yeah, so it's not too long after. I think because Sam Raimi came back for this one, which is he came back
Yeah.
or to do a Marvel project with Doctor Strange. They rehired him to go in a different direction. They said because the original writer and director wanted to make a different film, and Marvel's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're actually going in this direction, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah. Scott Derrickson wanted to go pretty
Super horror, like nightmare universe.
borderline like horror, and
Because he was like, we're making the first Marvel horror film, and I was like, sweet. And now they're like, no, we're not anymore. Or it's still going to be creepy because it's Sam Raimi, so it's got to be a little dark. And I hope they do something cool with Doctor Strange with like variants. Like I hope they cast like a Tom Cruise cameo as an Iron Man for like a moment, and he's
that'd be
I like imagine they do the iconic moment of the end of Iron Man where it's like I am Iron Man and he like walks by or is on the TV and it's Tom Cruise instead or something. I think they should do they could do a lot of stuff with this multiverse, especially if they introduce variants.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean that could be your way of bringing Black Widow back too. Like
yeah, you could just get a different
multiverse and a variant, and
exactly.
and she's just slightly different. You know,
you really want Scarlett Johansson to stay in the universe.
Well, I just you know what? I'm just kind of pissed that we're just like
just
we're
now getting more
this weekend getting a Black Widow movie. She should have had one a long time.
She should have been in phase one. Yeah,
she should have had one before Captain Marvel. And I granted, I guess you could say that like Winter Soldier, you know, there's a lot like if Natasha wasn't in that movie, like that movie would make no sense. But still, like, but no, I like the character and I like the balance of you know, she kind of keeps all those dudes in check, you know, like, and they all respect her. They all respect Natasha, and so I think she's yeah, and I would have preferred if Hawkeye had died on Valor,
but then we wouldn't get we wouldn't get the Hawkeye TV
we wouldn't get a
series.
Hawkeye series, which I believe that and Miss Marvel are supposed to be out by the end of this year on Disney Plus.
Yeah, those are, I believe they're done shooting
both of them, I think.
Both of them, yeah, or just about done with
they're just about done with She-Hulk. And they're just about to start Moon Knight, which Moon Knight is another one that the stunt team released a video of Oscar Isaac training, and oh man, some of those moves look great.
So much respect for Oscar. He's awesome.
And I'm a big fan of Mark Spector, like a big fan of Moon Knight. Like
when they they finally announced him to be Moon Knight. They had a really good photo of him with a poster of Moon Knight, and it just says "We are Moon Knight." And I'm like, oh, they're gonna lean into the multi-personality a lot because it's pretty dark. He's got a pretty dark personality ultimately.
Oh yeah,
because isn't he like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type situation where it's like they fight for power over his actual like consciousness?
Yeah,
sort of thing?
Yeah, and he is I just lost my train of thought. Mark Spector, Moon Knight. I recommend like going Marvel Knights. That's kind of like Marvel's like R-rated banner for their books.
Oh yeah,
yes. And there's a trade paperback for Moon Knight. Marvel Knights, and it's drawn by Greg Capullo, who did the new 52 Batman. Just very, he took over for Todd McFarlane on Spawn. When he stopped drawing Spawn.
So if that gets you the tone of grit, nothing else will. Spawn.
Oh god, yeah, so this Moon Knight book is just phenomenal, and it's so detailed and dark and horrific. And I hope they take that route with the show.
I hope so too. And Ethan Hawke's
sorry, didn't mean to jump into the shows real quick like that. We can go back to Doctor Strange.
I don't know what this could be. Like, I think I mean, it's going to be huge. It's supposed to be the end arc of Scarlet Witch's story for Marvel Phase 4. So we'll see what that means, whether she's going to die or she's going to finally establish her power as her own, Or it's gonna do. It's just it's a whole arc starting from WandaVision, Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange. So I think WandaVision might, or Wanda might be in Spider-Man in some way, in some form, maybe at the end. I'm not sure. It could go a lot of ways.
What I'm looking forward to, and I hope like it'll be like a few years down the line, is once the X-Men are introduced. But man, if they lead to the House of M storyline, where she wipes out like 90% of mutant kind just by saying the words "no more mutants," I will lose my shit if they.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do the opposite of that with WandaVision. I thought that she was gonna do. I thought she was gonna be like more mutants, like more like me or something. And then they did. And a lot of people were theorizing that, and I thought that would have been cool. But there's that they definitely got to save that.
I don't think she has transcended to that amount of power yet, or maybe she, but she's on her way. They definitely establish a somewhat lack of control within her.
But she's also more powerful than Doctor Strange already, because she can astral project and walk around and be conscious of her body, which Doctor Strange cannot, which is really, really powerful and subtle, but it's a good way to show that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what Raimi brings to it. I'm excited to see Raimi like direct a movie again
with a lot of money. And let him do what he wants.
I'm excited to see what cameo Bruce Campbell is going to play. It's the first Doctor Strange. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really cool and really, really unique, and it showed me a side of the character that I didn't really latch onto in the comics. And I think it was the swagger that Cumberbatch brought to the role. Super excited.
So we got 7 more movies coming out for Phase 4, but we're gonna speed through these ones with quick theories and everything, because there's not too much about them. Those are the movies coming out this year and that we know most about. But we got the next one after that is Thor: Love and Thunder, which is going to be so bizarre and so fun. We got Christian Bale as the bad guy. We got Star-Lord coming back for the beginning, I believe, just for a portion of some of the Guardians, and it's going to be a beautiful film, because Taika Waititi said he went balls to the wall and he's like, I don't know if I can do another movie after this, because we used up all of our exciting ideas. But Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be awesome, I think. Another galactic rock star.
Yeah, super excited. I even down to the logo. The logo looks like the He-Man Masters of the Universe, with its like just pink and blue, very 80s 80s Saturday morning cartoon. I'm really excited to see what Waititi brings this round to it.
Because I wasn't expecting what he did with Ragnarok, so I have no idea what to expect with Love and Thunder. I mean, I believe we're getting a mighty Thor with Natalie Portman getting powers, which is going to be beautiful. It's finally they get to utilize Natalie Portman for what she is, a pure talent. So I'm excited for that. After that, we got Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is going to be so interesting that they're doing this. I guess they cast or introducing Namor too, which there's been rumors that he was cast. I believe, isn't he associated with the X-Men kind of a little bit? Namor?
Yes, but also with Black Panther and the Fantastic Four.
Interesting.
He's had associations with.
He's kind of like the Aquaman of Marvel, right?
Yeah, kind of. But he's not as nice as Aquaman. He's definitely got a mean streak to him. He's got a short temper.
This one's gonna be interesting though, because we got no Chadwick for it's gonna be. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Pass the mantle to Shuri. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not gonna recast. They're gonna try and move the story along.
They came out publicly and said no, we can't do that to Chadwick.
In honor of not only Chadwick but just the character of T'Challa as well. And not much is known. Ryan Coogler's coming back. He did a great job with the first one. Except for the last 20 minutes, I thought were a little, but my problems were more technical. I thought the CG in the end fight scene was pretty bad.
I agree.
I love Coogler. I'm sure he's a brilliant writer and he understands character. very,
Yes.
very well. So I think we'll see something cool out of Wakanda Forever.
Agreed. After that, we get the Marvels, which is the sequel to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And Marvels has, I think, believe this one's gonna have like three suit. This is gonna have I think this is gonna be like a Civil War type because there's a few superheroes that are gonna show up. We got
Mm-hmm.
Monica Rambeau coming back, who was introduced in WandaVision, so she's
Yeah.
gonna be
Photon.
Photon. Thank you.
Photon. Yep.
And then we also got Captain
Miss
Marvel,
Marvel.
obviously, and then I believe there's the younger one, Miss Marvel, right? That's getting
Yeah.
her own TV show. They're all going to be
Yeah.
in this one, so this is I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be like a mini crossover, mini Civil War type situation where it has to be a team up movie. But those are all super powerful people, so
Yep.
whoever the bad guy is in the Marvels has to be pretty powerful. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So
And
that's pretty exciting.
they haven't really announced any, like, not even really any hints, just that those
Nothing.
three are going to be in it, and it's called the Marvels. That's
Yeah,
pretty much.
exactly. So that's going to be big. It has to be,
Yeah.
and that's going to be the last movie that comes out in 2022, and then we're in 2023. So this is still coming. This is going to be a while, but we're getting Ant-Man and
Yeah.
the Wasp after that, which officially
Yep.
is in production right now with Paul Rudd in London. And like I said, the bad guy was officially announced as Kang the Conqueror. So we'll see how that goes with there's probably going to be two versions of him, like I said, in Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's Quantum Mania, and
Yeah.
so I'm excited to see Jonathan Majors fully join and Ant-Man and everyone coming back. Like I
Is
believe
it
the whole
Peyton
cast is coming
Reed
back.
directing again?
That's a good question. Probably.
Sorry,
I
I
assume
should
so.
have.
It's Peyton Reed's back.
Okay,
He was
cool,
the one who
cool.
replaced Edgar
Edgar
Wright,
Wright.
but I mean, he did a good job, so I
He
thought it was all
did.
right.
I actually like the second one. I enjoyed because
Yeah,
I love seeing Ant-Man get big.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
so.
And we still don't know
And
who the beneficiary is for the guy who was with what's his name, Walton Goggins' character. We still don't know
yeah.
who he works for, so we'll find
Yep.
out probably more about that and see in phase 4, hopefully.
Yeah.
But they're in production right now. We don't know too much about that. Paul Rudd's returning, and Kang's the bad guy. And then
Yeah.
after that, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is supposed to shoot
Woohoo!
at the around. Chris Pratt said they're shooting in like November of this year into January or February. So they're going to be starting production soon and be done with it pretty soon.
Yeah.
And
And knowing James Gunn, like
yeah,
his last three movies have all come in under schedule and under budget. So it's he's a quick worker. So we might
he
get
knows
around
what
to
he
seeing
wants.
something for Guardians, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think they're doing that too because they're doing a Guardians
Christmas
holiday
special.
special. Yeah, which comes
Yeah.
out next Christmas, not this Christmas, but next Christmas. So they're probably gonna
And
shoot those back to back.
and James Gunn has said that the holiday special is going to be 100% canon,
Yeah, and so it's gonna
and
impact everything.
it's going to be just as great and glorious and cheesy as probably Star Wars's holiday
It
special.
has to be. They got to stick with it. I mean, I have no idea what to expect with Guardians Volume 3. They're probably gonna have to search for Gamora or whatever. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what they're gonna do.
All I know is it's probably going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
love the
don't
cast. I love them all.
and I've never been let down by James Gunn. I think the last trailer for Suicide Squad, while I think it showed just a little too much, I thought
Mhm.
it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm
excited
really,
for it.
really
I'm so
looking.
excited for it. And we finally
Sorry,
got
Marvel
dialogue
fans.
from Oh yeah, but we finally got Pete Davidson dialogue too. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, a little bit more
yep.
of him, but he's obviously going to be
And
the first person to die.
yeah, I have a feeling, and that it'd be even funnier. It'd be even funnier if Weasel eats him.
That would be
He's
awesome.
a
I would love that,
child.
dude. Yeah. So
So
then, yeah,
yeah,
Guardians is probably going to be in space, I'm assuming.
yeah,
This is an
yeah,
interesting one, but after that, we got Blade, which we don't know when this one's coming out.
yeah.
They're
I'm
working on it. We
surprised.
got
Like
Mahershala
they,
Ali as the new titular character.
yes, yeah, and they announced it at like Comic-Con 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they did this latest announcement of titles, it was nowhere to be seen. So
Yeah.
hopefully, it's still moving along. I love the casting.
Yeah, I believe they have a writer. I forgot who it is, but it's upcoming female writer. I forgot her name though, unfortunately. But it's they it seems like they're moving along. It seems like they just don't want to rush it, which is interesting. And I
Yeah,
wonder if it's going to be one of their first R-rated movies because Blade's pretty dark, especially the
yeah.
Wesley Snipes ones. But I could see them going PG-13, but we'll see. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Who knows when Deadpool 3 is coming?
Oh yeah.
They haven't really announced it, but we know it's happening.
Yeah.
And they could see how that performs as an R-rated comic book movie, and then like, all right, let's
dip their toe.
I think we can get away with Blade being R. So
I agree.
I think it would be a
think it could be
mistake
fun.
not to. Like,
It's hard to have vampires and no blood, so
exactly.
And then I think the final movie of Phase 4, which would be awesome, is if it was the final movie, it was Fantastic Four, which we're finally getting the new
Yes.
Marvel first family, and I have so many expectations for this because I love Fantastic Four, and they're highly
Me
involved
too.
with all the characters previously mentioned. Like
Mhm.
they're basically a stand-in for the new Tony Stark of being the smart people who are building everything for everyone. If it's not Wakandan technology, it's usually Reed Richards technology. And Kang the Conqueror is kind of associated with Reed Richards. He's basically a deep descendant of Reed Richards' family bloodline. So it's very interesting that they're going to have Kang in it and the Fantastic Four, which is going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
And exciting.
we've already been introduced to the Skrulls in Captain Marvel and some after credit sequences of other movies, and they're
they're getting the Skrulls are getting a Disney Plus TV show with Secret Invasion, which Emilia Clarke has signed on for.
Yes,
very interesting. There's going to be that's all going to be something. Like there's so many things that are be coming out.
Yeah.
She-Hulk, I'm excited for. They have the bad guy already, and these are the Disney Plus shows. She-Hulk is coming out. I think it's next year because they're shooting it now, and that has a lot more Hulk. I hope they do Hulk justice because I don't like how fast everything's happening to Hulk because he can't have his own movie. So they have to like integrate him into every story to have him progress. And that's upsetting to me because he was my favorite. Him and Spider-Man, I think, are my favorite. But yeah, there's a Ironheart Armor Wars, which is War Machine spinoff, and I Am Groot is getting his own original short films coming to Disney Plus. I believe those are all the ones we've mentioned that are coming out.
And actually, this July, What If? The animated,
the What If series.
Which is basically, I know one of the stories is what if Yondu picked up T'Challa as a child in Wakanda instead of Star-Lord.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
Chadwick Boseman's last
voice.
Role as it's
he recorded all the dialogue, and then and then I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if it's necessarily canon or not, but the MODOK show on Hulu.
I don't think it is, but that seems pretty interesting that they actually made a family sitcom about MODOK.
I haven't checked it out yet, but I've heard it's fun. I've heard it's pretty funny.
I love the cast. So Patton Oswalt does awesome things. A lot of things to look forward to with Phase 4, and it's all kicking off this Friday with Black Widow. We will be doing a review of that, and we'll be bringing Patrick back for that because it's Marvel. We gotta have you for Marvel.
I like Marvel.
So I think that's about all we can say about everything Phase 4 that we know. I
think we covered it all.
We did covered it all. So then we'll talk again in 3 years or 4 or 6 years probably when we get to Phase 5.
Phase 5.
Thank you for coming. It probably will be. But thank you for coming in for this. This was absolutely a lot of fun. I'm excited. Let us know what your favorite Marvel movie is. What is your favorite Marvel movie out of all of them so far?
My favorite one out of all of them, I would have to say, would be either Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain America: Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Those to me are just represent the cream of the crop. On one hand, you just got a fully grounded action spy thriller, and on the other one, you got a galaxy-spanning space adventure in the vein of Star Wars. And like, if I had to tell, and I'll say my third one would probably be the first Avengers. And like, if I was introducing somebody to the MCU and had to do it in 3 movies, those are the 3 I would probably pick.
Yeah, those are very good. I personally just like everything that Taika Waititi did with Thor Ragnarok.
Yes. So man, why are you making me change my mind? No, Thor Ragnarok is great. That to me is like truly a comic book come to life.
Yeah, they just had
They
like
fully
the
they
everything, the
captured
designs, everything.
yeah, they captured like the look of a Jack Kirby comic book panel, just
Yes,
with color and everything. It was brilliant.
it's really good. All right, thank you again for coming
Yeah,
in, Patrick.
it's
If you guys made it this
my
far,
pleasure.
awesome.
Yeah,
If yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts. We have new episodes every Tuesday. Um, I think that's about it. Go Black
yeah.
Widow.
Woohoo!
Wait. Remember, Marvel movies have post credit scenes, so it's been a
Yes,
while, but don't forget they have post credit
don't
scenes.
forget. Yeah,
All right, I'll see you again real soon, probably for the Black Widow
cool.
review. So see you again,
All right, man.
Patrick. Thank you again for
I will
coming.
keep in touch. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Have a good day, Patrick.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to get a post credit for a Marvel episode. Oh, I dropped the ball on that one.